Yeah, folks. We're back for another week here at Big Old Belt Media for that live Power Book 4 Force recap review show. You all asked for her, so I reached out. She said she had the time in a busy schedule, so I was like, "Thank you, Queen. Thank you." And here she is. We about to get into tonight's show. It's gonna be special. Let's hit the intro video, and we back to you real quick. Yeah, what's up, everybody? It's not Jer here. Mine is Lucas, because Lucas is he's still running the towns. It's all good. He here in spirit. But we are here tonight live with you lovely fans and fam to cover this week's episode 3 of Power Book 4 Force. And as I've been talking all season long, we're going to continue to work with the hottest, the most talented, the best power content creators in all of the internet, not just YouTube, but all of the internet. And y'all went crazy week 1. Y'all was just like, listen, you better get my girl Color Me Pink in there. I was like, say less. I'm gonna reach out. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. And nonetheless, I have the lovely Keisha, aka Color Me Pink. If y'all ain't subscribed to the channel right now, go in the description. You can click her name, because I put the link right in there. Click her name. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Keep up with her content. And Keisha, just tell them all the stuff that you're covering and what you got coming up this week. Let's plug that right now.
Ooh, Lord. Right now I'm doing Force. I'm doing all of the Real Housewives shows. I'm doing the Zeus shows, own network shows, Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm covering everything. I post videos every day.
Grinding. Show her some love, folks, as she's mentioned. Each and every day you're getting a new video. And yeah, I've been keeping up with that Toya and Reginae content. That's a banger. That's a show.
Yeah.
That's a show. Mm-hmm. But we are here to talk about Power Book 4 Force, episode 3, War and Ice Cream. And as I mentioned, we're not going to do the whole episode recap review. We already covered that on our respective channels, but we are here to talk and to answer those 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 hot topics, hot questions that you all are asking or talking about after the episode airs. And we got some for you tonight. If you feel like there's something else we need to cover, get in the chat. Y'all here with us live. We here to interact with you all, so let us know what you may be wanting us to cover. And we're going to start off with number 1. Oh, this man, Luke. I don't know the questions. I got the questions 5 minutes ago, so I'm just laughing at them. And Lucas is something special, I swear. Our first topic for the night is, how long before Jenard turns into Pookie from New Jack?
He already there. He was already there. When he went and picked up that baggie, I was like, oh, we going there now? Like, bro, you are her bad. You can't be a cokehead, crackhead, heroin head, and have a cauliflower ear. No. It's too much going on.
Yeah, Jenard is definitely down bad. And listen, I there's been a few folks that's been asking me, because I mentioned in the recap that he got heroin. Everyone's like, it's not heroin. It's absolutely heroin.
Yeah.
I went and cross-checked it. I had to go pull some sources to say, what exactly is it? It is absolutely heroin, off of Heroin Highway, by the way. So that just solidifies what he wanted to do. But nonetheless, yeah, Jenard is going down the path that he's just, it ain't going to be a good season for my guy down this route. Little going off the limb. I mean, first of all, let's talk about what Jenard did this episode. First off, him dumping a body in plain sight. Yeah, I mean, and it goes back to our question last week. This guy was running CBI when Diamond was in jail. Now he's running treason basically by loan at this point. If it ain't for Shanti, I don't know how this guy can even keep it operating. He's definitely playing with fire, playing with Miguel in the cartel, not making ends meet. Now he out here snapping, dumping a body in plain sight. DIFRANCO easily finds the body, already know who he is, didn't take him nothing to identify him. And it's just going to eventually lure back to 2 different things. Going to say, listen, I know there's trouble with CBI, but I also know there's trouble with treason. But I also know that somebody took a shot at Tommy because of the little girl that got killed. It ain't gonna be long before the feds are highly on Jenard's tail for the movies he make. And then at the end, he just tops it off with him going in and getting his baggie. So to throw it to you, like, what is the fate of Jenard now? This is the third episode of this season, and it ain't looking good. What is the fate for my guy?
One thing I want to point out is when you just said that Bobby, the task force guy or whatever, found the body so easily. But did you think that maybe Tommy could have tipped him off because Tommy was watching in the cut? That could be how he knew where the body was. And then also, as far as Jenard this season, I think that he's going to have to learn the hard way that his brother, when his brother told him he wasn't ready, he wasn't ready. Like, he thought that he was big man on campus, but you can't be in control of an organization and getting high at the same time. Then he's irrational. He doesn't think, he just acts. And that's what has gotten him in the place where he's in right now. Like, he got everybody on his back. He got all of Chicago literally on his back, with the Serbians, with Miguel, with Tommy, with his brother, with his own people. Like, he literally has no control over anything. So the one thing that he does have control of right now is his substance abuse. That's what's keeping him going. But I think that at some point he's going to get so low this season that Diamond is going to come save him, because we saw in the trailer that they all are going to be on one side together going against the Serbs. So I don't think he's going to get clean that fast. But I do think that something major is going to happen where him and his brother end up linking back up. It might just be for a second, but they're going to link back up at some point.
I'm loving that. I'm taking that one all the way to the bank. Hey, there's a lot of love going for you in the comments.
Yes,
so let's take some time. Let's take some time to get these shouts out done. Prince Rock, the SC King. I wonder if it's South Carolina King. Maybe. What's up, fam? Welcome back. Here we go. Okay.
Hey, 40.
Wait. Hey, thick girl 40 coming through, showing the love. Hey, listen, we don't gotta say it. Just listen to the queen right there. Thick girl 40. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. RD giving away. What's up? What's up? Color me punk. What's up, sister? I know. Type of we love it.
Hi.
Hey, listen, I told you they asked, and I and they came through tonight.
Hey, guys,
more love. Well.
Hey, Virtue.
Well. We about to have a quick run-in going on here. Which should be something. Let me get a couple more of these shout outs done real quick.
Hey, 426. You know I was gonna beat this face for y'all.
Man, and they ain't letting up. Thank y'all so much for coming through.
Thank you.
Daniel Owens with the whole government for the name there.
Thank you.
Hey, you absolutely do look beautiful, Queen. Thank you so much for coming on the show tonight. Absolutely. All right, listen, I'm going to stop talking just for a quick second because we have a guest. Somebody decided to get that Theraflu in his blood, I guess, or something. And he said he couldn't miss this one, huh? Is that what happened here? Nonetheless, my man Uncle Lewis here. Let me make sure I get the graphics right here for this. Not that one. We gotta go. No, does that get you right there? There you go. What's up, sir?
Hey, how's everyone doing this evening? It's look. My everything is in a little bit of pain. Everything is in a little bit of state of tiredness. Just flew in from Toronto, but we here. That's I couldn't miss another episode, especially with the amazing, lovely, talented, amazing. I'm trying to think of a different word to describe you that would just like catapult it to a different level to understand that you're the reason I'm on here, not him. Because I could see him another week. It ain't no big deal. I can't miss another episode now. Not this week.
Hi, Lucas. It's nice to meet you.
Uncle Lou, welcome. How you feeling? making it
absolutely
through.
out of my mind. But hey, this is what we do. We do this for a reason. It ain't always the easiest thing to do, but hey, we're here to talk about this amazing show and about Najir's hate for Kate and how it will never go away.
Maybe not. I don't know. But since you're here now, what is your sort of thoughts about Jenard and his last minute pickup at the end of this episode, picking up that heroin bag? What is your thoughts?
The first thing that threw me off is that I have not seen too many people sniff heroin, and I said, "Oh, like that is." Boy, like do you know how bad things gotta be when you ain't even got enough time to freebase it? Like normally you need to at least freebase it to get it good in your system. And he was like, "Nah, I'm just gonna snort this up like it's not heroin." But it kind of fits with Jenard. Yeah, because it's the pressure of everything that he's going through. I think we didn't pay enough attention in season 1, just how that separation from Diamond really affected him. He held his brother down when he was away because that's his family, that's his brother. And then all of a sudden, that relationship is fractured. And for some people, you gotta substitute that with something else. You gotta numb the pain of that situation because he's never really dealt with or had a conversation with Diamond like, man, it hurt me that you picked or went with Tommy on these things over me. It hurt me that you made these decisions. Instead, he just numbing himself with heroin. Out of all things, you'd at least thought he would pick Dahlia or something. He said, "No."
But I think that it goes back even
heroin
further than that. I think that it goes back from as far back as them being teenagers and growing up or whatever. Diamond was always the big guy. He was always the little brother trying to be like him. And then when Diamond was away, he got to be top dog. And then Diamond comes back, he gets pushed to the side again. Yeah. So it's unfortunate.
Exactly. No, kind of like when Jay-Z left Rockefeller and then came back and then it had this destroyed everything and everyone else around him. Like we ain't heard from Memphis Bleak since. Like you know how hard it has to be to fill in that shadow.
Nah, and I think that's a lot of what this episode is really going back to and again, like the first season was really about the psychology of Tommy. I think we're really tapping into the psychology of all of these other characters. I think there is truly a lot of rooted issues with Jenard, whether it's the envy of his brother. I mean, because again, when Diamond walks around, people respect him. And we talked a lot about how when him and Tommy went to see Miguel, they pushed that racism hate for the white boy coming up there and says, but it is Diamond, so I'm gonna meet him out front. Jenard got G-chat with another black dude, and they didn't even let him in. And then it was just like, where's my money? No conversation about business, no conversation about anything but I need my money. And I just think it's just over and over. Do we just continue to see Jenard just really realize that he's never going to be Diamond, he's never going to be that big dog, and he's just going to keep deflecting this inner hate all around for the hate that he has for himself. I don't. I think he respects his brother. He envies Tommy, and I think, as you mentioned, I think at the end we are going to realize that they're going to come back together. But that's when Jenard's going to have to realize what his place is. You're never going to be that top guy. You're not going to be able to run like Tommy, who got years of experience, little if you know it or not. You're just going to have to be little bro in CBI, and that's just going to be what it is. That treason thing ain't going to work out either, so forget that. All right, let me get the new graphics back. There, not that one. Come on. I'll work on it. Anyway, all right, you go. Let's go for the next one. You're here now, so you can take over and do what you do, and we'll keep the show going. Or do you want me to keep stirring the toes?
I'm about to say, look. You did such a good job with the first question I feel you should like continue to do this amazing job. I mean, last week I was scared. I was like, oh man, I'd have been replaced. I see this little chemistry kick off. I said, oh man, did Keisha show up? I'm like, you know what? Next thing we just had the ladies do it instead of me and you, and then they everything's gonna go through the roof here. Like
all good.
Their insight is on point. But yes, sir, you can continue those. I have no issue with that.
Cool. Let's get to the second question then. Coming right at you, Keisha, with this one. We need to know, why do black grandmas always think they can threaten anybody?
Because they can. They literally can. Black grandmas are the scariest human beings on this earth. All they got to do is, and you gonna shut the hell up. Period. So Jenard already knew he didn't want no smoke with grandma because grandma done been through some things. She done lived through the civil rights movement, segregation, Martin and Malcolm, but she'll take you down in a minute. Like, you ain't gonna mess with nobody, granny. Nah.
In all seriousness, we're and like obviously we know little K's fate, but like with the grandma literally shielding him. And this is the street dude, who went out there and tried to do street moves, tried to make street moves, going after Tommy when he was told not to, end up shooting doing a drive-by on Tommy, completely missing and killing the young girl. What do you think Grandma's response is going to be once everything starts to add up and she starts to figure out that her grandson was involved with this street level violence? Because that grandmas they'll protect you to no end. But when kids get involved, that's a whole different story there.
Yeah, I think that might be the thing that keeps her quiet. I think she's going to attempt to go and snitch once she finds out that Lil K is gone. But I think that that's going to be the thing that just kind of like shuts her down because like they're both evil. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like my grandson committed this heinous crime, and then we got somebody that committed a heinous crime against him. It's almost like a round the circle type of moment. Like it all goes back to the beginning. So it's going to be tough for her, but I think she is going to try to snitch on Jenard, and Jenard is going to end up threatening her or something.
Yeah. What about you, Uncle Lou? Grandma going to get involved here? Because I told you they built this character really good for not a one-off. Like sub characters look sub characters, but this one had a lot of relevance in this episode. So I'm not so sure that she's just going to be a one-off and we won't see her next week or have something to do down the line. So what do you think about Grandma here?
I think Keisha put it perfectly. She's going to threaten Jenard in some way, shape, form, or fashion, because that's who she's automatically going to think killed her grandbaby, no matter what else happened, is because that's the one who threatened him. And as Keisha said, Black grandmamas don't care. Like, in all honesty, she can find out in the end that her grandbaby killed 86 people. That ain't gonna change that from not being her grandson.
Exactly.
Like, she ain't gonna care not one bit. So yeah, it's gonna lead, I think, to something with Jenard, her either threatening the Jenard or going to the police about Jenard, and then them having to deal with that. That could be what hopefully helps Jenard get clean in some weird way. Like you don't know the ramifications that's going to come behind her going to the police about Jenard. Like that's going to be the interesting part, because you said this is not a one-off. She's way too ingrained to be a one-off of a character, it seems like. So if you're going to give her this much story, you're giving her this much story because you're setting her up to have an impact on someone else's life.
Yeah.
It could even be her forgiving Jenard for killing her grandson and her becoming that type of figure for him, or her wanting him to do better.
I think Jenard right now is too far gone for that to listen. I think we got a few more episodes of him being a full out crackhead. But I think what's going to happen is Bobby's going to come talk to her. Like, I tried to help. I tried to warn you about this. I think she's going to give up Jenard. Jenard is going to find out and she's going to have to testify, but she's not going to make it to testify. Either they're going to get her to be quiet or they're going to silence her by offing her.
There's a lot of comments coming in. Let me get to a few of those real quick. Listen, more love for you.
Not with lipstick shade, y'all. I got it right here. It's Juvia's Place, the candy shop bubblegum. I got a makeup tutorial coming next week for y'all.
There you always working. Prince Rock. I keep wanting to call him Pat the Rock. Is and one. I was a big and one fan. Prince Rock, the South Carolina King. I think Diamond gonna save his little brother as always. Yep, Keisha definitely pretty much confirmed that one's coming. You got the scoop here. Octavia is y'all with the cauliflower is tripping. He said
two bags. He said two, not one. So clearly he's letting you know from there, one ain't enough to get me high. I need two of them jumps.
Yeah.
Hair
on. Any of y'all watch Love is Blind? I know you don't watch it, Lucas. You watch Love Is Blind? Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember last season that toxic chick that told the one guy that he needed to man up, and then she started dating the other guy that had the
Oh
cauliflower
yeah.
ear. Yeah.
Mhm.
So in the little extra episodes that just recently came out, she was like, I love that cauliflower. I'd be licking that thing every night. So therefore, there is a star scene with Jenard. I'm sure they're gonna load up at some point where we're gonna see Shanti on the cauliflower ear.
Shanti ain't looking at cauliflower ear. Nah.
I want to know what her thing is, because like she just all for him and on him, and I'm like, why? I want to know like what's the history there, because she
is it some form of pick-me
down.
behavior?
You think she's gonna turn on him?
I think she's going to, I mean, like, for lack of better words, a hostile takeover. She's absolutely going to try to take or get position. And I don't know, by way of treason makes sense, but I think she will start to show a level of relevancy in terms of being a top dog. And beyond me just thinking that's a trajectory that works for the show, that's just traditional writing for power. They write strong women to be in leadership roles in the drug business, and forces the one that has not had the black woman yet. We got Claudia, who we obviously are never going to see lead just because she's a woman, and you know they're not having that. The Irish isn't having that. So I think we're going to see Shanti, and wouldn't that be something if we saw Shanti leading and Claudia was aware that there was a woman leading the crew, and that's something she always wanted to do. But I for sure think that Shanti will be the means of the complete downfall of Jenard and operating treason, to her being the one who got the money, who got the resources, who got the business to clean it in.
She got the backing. Everybody respects her.
Yep. So wouldn't be surprised if we see her at some point being the top dog.
What happened if Shanti changes and Shanti holds Jenard down and she gets him clean? Kind of like the woman did Ray when he was shaking on the bed. What happened if Shanti gets Jenard clean and she goes out her way? You know, power also likes to throw in women going above and beyond in situations they don't have to.
Rolling my eyes, because girl, you done did enough. You ain't even got your money back from him yet. He done told you fuck you, and you still there. Like, he only got one time to tell me fuck you, and I'm gonna hit him in that.
And you like, that's it?
Yeah, like absolutely not.
Yeah,
no.
And also, like, Jenard is definitely in hot water now, because not only did he get a loan to get snatched by the Serbs, he also now don't have the money for Miguel, so he down bad.
He got no car. Like,
yep, they came and snatched. Yeah, like I said,
now I gotta come pick you up. Like, it's too much dealing with him.
They Cameroned him in DC. They said, "Give me that."
Jenard turning into Tyrese from Baby Boy. He can turn into
literally.
Jody.
He about to not have no house in a minute because he ain't got no money to pay the rent. No.
Oh man. What's this comment say right here? Jenard about to be out here bad. How far is it? Are they go until he go with his drug addiction? I mean, yeah, we can see it next episode. Very confident we will see my man. Just, I mean, he doesn't have a car, so at some point he will be walking down the street. They're gonna give us the whole full blown crackhead scene. I saw somebody in the comments last week say, or this week say that he's gonna turn into what's his name from BMF, Lamar, and I was like, if they go that route that quick, that would be something. But
they wouldn't go Lamar's route. That's too much. They still need to have him have a form of redeeming quality. Like, Lamar was just completely strung out. One, you can't just do heroin and be fine. No. So it has to come to some conclusion, and I think that's where, as Keisha put it, that's where Diamond comes into play here. He's not going to allow his brother to be that far gone.
But I think that he'll probably stop using for a minute, but I don't see this storyline just him completely getting, sober and not being addicted to drugs anymore. I think they're going to play this out for a while. I would love to see, as a writer, because they've never done this on any of the power shows that I can think of, where a main character actually goes into actual being a real dopehead, crackhead, go all the way down, like how they did old boy on Snowfall. Let's
Keisha.
see.
Not Keisha.
Franklin.
Wanda. Wanda, but yeah, I was thinking Wanda, but yeah, you're talking about Franklin. Yeah, at the end, yeah, that.
I would love to see that because we always know that drug dealers either go to jail or die. But then you do have that other instance where they can become full-blown crackheads. You know, I would like to see them do that because it'll be different.
Yep, somebody right there with you. Maybe he'll be like Franklin. Yep, like Franklin. Let's get to the third question that I feel like is completely for sure it's targeted to me, and I think it's just not fair that I should be outed on my whole show here. That way, I'm going to end up throwing it to Keisha first here. And our third question for tonight is it time to completely forgive Kate?
Not completely, because she's a trash ass mama. And you just can't forgive mamas like her that easily. And they still don't have the answers that they need. Neither of them. Really why she ticks the way that she does. We got a little glimpse of that in her AA meeting when she was saying that her mother was the one that was driving in her head that she was going to have a hard time raising a black child. So how was she going to relay that to JP? But I feel like it has to be more than that when it comes to Kate. I do think that she can be redeemed because we've seen her for how many seasons now? Almost 10 seasons, almost.
She's OG.
Be who she is.
Kate been struggling for years.
A different side of her, but she's still Kate because it's just like, okay, I want to make amends. I'm sorry for being a shitty mama. And then they both was like, girl, that's it. And she like, what? Like, that ain't enough. Like, so it's still Kate there. But like the scene with her trying to bake a cake for D-Mac or getting Tommy's favorite ice cream, like we're seeing these redeeming qualities. I know a lot of people think that Kate is sick or dying. I don't think that she's sick or dying. I think that hopefully she really is trying to get herself together. And you know that in life, when people that have lived a fucked up lifestyle try to get it together, that's when they die. But I don't think it's because she's sick. I think it's something else is going to happen. I think that she's getting to that age where she's starting to see all of her past like just rush her to the face, and she has to at this point face it all and fess up.
Lucas, you go first before I have to get my whole monologue here.
Well, after Kate lost her real son, I think that's when her life started to change, and then she started to look in a different direction for stuff. Like losing Jamie had a huge impact on Kate. And then at the same time she lost Jamie is the same time that Tommy left. And Tommy, as we remember, Tommy completely cut off communication with Kate. So when we get to Chicago, this is also her having to deal with her mother just dying. So it's like tragedy after tragedy after tragedy is struck. And now she's back reflecting on everything. So now I think she's more open to be honest about some of the situations of her past. So when I think about forgiving Kate, it's about when we see the road people go down and we see what led them down that road, it is a bit of grace that is given to them because of that. That don't mean I will forget that you've been a horrible mom. That's something you can never forget, but it is something you can forgive because now you look back on the situation and then that's what leads to the forgiveness. Because just that whole thing with her and JP of her telling like, yeah, it was because you were black. And my mother telling me like, or basically telling me how hard it would be in this time period for a white mother to raise a black child. We fully understand that that's true. But then you think about how the impact that has on Tommy, because now you're the son that needs to make up for me not being able to raise my first son. But then she's also strung out at the time because she's dealing with the ramifications of giving up her son. It's the same thing. It's a cycle, as Ayanla would say. It's a cycle that needs to be broken. And this is Kate attempting to fix her life by going to these meetings and her relationship with D-Mac. Like all of this it's about her attempting to fix everything. Now, granted, you're not going to see it. And Keisha said, normally when we get to the point of any show, when people are getting this reflective on their past life, something bad is about to happen.
Yeah.
Like just before they get to the crux of really nailing it, something bad happens.
Yeah.
I hope not, though. I really hope not, because this is just an interesting transition that we've never seen in Power of a character go through the route that they're taking Kate through right now.
Yeah, Anti-Mike with obviously, I think it's a great comment. It's like Kate about to die, never happy ending in Power, and it's the truth. But they did take the unconventional route, and we did see a redemption story and a good send off too with Kate. That would be something. And yes, I'm fully aware that this season is happening before her appearance in Ghost, which I think is I'm still very confused why would they do the timelines like that when it was never a case like that in the past, especially when they was creating this universe. Like, it was very clear that the two shows were running sort of parallels in different respective cities. Now it's like Ghost is ahead and this is behind, and so that kind of spoils things, because I think we love to be on edge to know what care. I mean, that's literally what a lot of the fans care about: is who's going to die, who's going to survive. So now we know, like, somebody like Kate, who we're obviously very much emotionally invested into, know that, well, she'll be around this entire season. But I think I have to show Kate some grace here, because I think
it's about time.
I've gained a little bit of understanding in terms of where she's coming from. No, it doesn't correct the things in the past, but I understand, and I think she's trying to do the work. And I think, like, again, we joked about it forever since we started covering Power, that like her real son was Ghost, and it became that till us start saying like, oh, well, Kate just loves Black people. But again, this episode really helps you understand that, like, the drugs and her relationship with Ghost and Tariq was sort of like a therapeutic band-aid measure because of the trauma she was running from, that she had to give up her Black son because her mom was like, you can't raise him, it's against all odds, it ain't gonna work. And Kate being optimistic, and Kate definitely gives me the Black Lives Matter advocacy. You got all the paraphernalia and everything. Like, I get it. She loves her Black folks. She's giving that diversity speech every once in a while, and inclusion. But I think it really does put into perspective that, like, she is not only using this, because again, Tommy and Ghost were raised as brothers, and the fact that she treated Ghost more of a son than she did Tommy, and Tommy's never ever been on the high side of like, my mom treats me good. This tells me that this was a measure of her, a selfish measure at that, of building that relationship with Ghost, because that was kind of keeping her going because of what she was ultimately escaping. I think, especially as us as adults, we realize that, like, without like properly assessing our trauma or whatever it may be, we find ways to cope and get by day by day. It's like, well, why do blah 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 drink so much, or blah 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 do that? It's because there's something interrooted here. And I think we look at Kate and said, like, yeah, Kate definitely be on that stuff all the time, always looking for a handout. But now we see why. And this is it's a scary thing. If anybody is truly a big Kate fan, is saying, like, she's trying to clean herself. She's also trying to do the work. She's also looking for an appropriate response for the work that she's doing. She didn't quite get that initially with Tommy, which easily could have resorted her back to the drugs, which anybody who tries to go clean and get back on it, 9.9 times out of 10 is going to end up dying from an overdose. And it's just a route that it's going to be interesting to see. And then again, in this episode, she had to deal with JP because he had his questions. D-Mac may eventually start to have some questions because that's one little curious little boy. And then Tommy seemed to have turned the page on it, but who's to know when he decides to go back on one of his spills and be like, you know what, fuck you, mom, again, and she just loses it. And then somebody in the comments last week said, well, why was JP building a relationship with his grandma, knowing that his grandma was anti-Black? And I think, I want to give y'all opportunity to speak on it.
Does he know that though? He doesn't know that yet.
That's exactly my point. And I think most of us, I mean, because like a lot of us don't all know our family story and how we got here and the handling of whatever, like, especially in Black families, like, we had grandparents who took care of us or aunts that took care of us, all sorts of different things. And that's one thing that this show is truly about, is that these stories, we was talking about Zeke with Ghost about, oh, how could that be possible that Monet could be raising him or giving him away and stuff like that? Like, Courtney Kemp made it very clear, like, these stories are like
100% real.
Yes. And anybody and all of us got a little bit of a story or heard of a story that's like that. I think that in JP's stance, I think that he's just unknowingly thinking he's just doing the right thing by building a bond with the little bit of family that he knows he had. He didn't know about Tommy. He didn't. Of course, he knew about DMAT, but he was never to have that relationship. And this just happens to be the one person that he was able to connect with that family. No different than what Tommy would do.
Was it established that the grandmother was anti-black? Because it didn't come across as anti-black. What it came across is what a lot of grandmothers tell their children when they have babies young. You're not in a position to deal with raising this kid. And they take the kid and raise their kid.
Okay.
Like, I don't necessarily think she did that because she didn't like black people or anything of that nature. I think she knew her child. You at 14 cannot raise this child.
And
This
then a
may
black
be a
child at
situation.
that.
This may be a situation she told her, you need to give this child to his father. That's a better environment for him than you could ever give him. Like, so I don't necessarily think that's anti-black. That's just being knowledgeable about a situation and being like, this ain't something you're built to do right now. And why does the child have to hurt or live a lesser life because you want to struggle through it? You actually have another option.
Well, I guess when the story unfolds, we'll find out if grandma was a racist or not.
I think that's going to be the interesting part as we dig deeper into this story and more stuff come out, because we know that JP took care of the grandmother to an extent, but how long did he have a relationship with the grandmother is the question.
Yeah.
Because if it goes back to for years, he's had a relationship with her.
The grandmama couldn't talk, wasn't she?
By that point, when she was in hospice, but was he taking care? Did he know her before then? Did his father disclose some of that information to JP? Maybe the grandmother, because remember, the grandmother didn't have a relationship with Kate either. So is it a chance that she had a relationship with JP? Because she didn't, and Tommy, she hadn't seen Tommy since Tommy was 7.
Yeah.
Remember when Tommy showed the picture beginning of the first season? He said, I haven't been back here forever. So what happened if JP is the grandchild, that the grandmother actually played a pivotal role in his life in some way, or with his father and helped his father help raise him in some way?
Yeah.
Which can hurt Tommy even more, because then it makes it look like, he unfortunately got stuck with the bad parent.
Somebody just mentioned that he had that tattoo that Tommy has.
Yeah, let me hold on. There's a couple of comments I want to go through. Y'all are funny. Here go one, like, not Kate the goat. She playing with where's Kate's dad. I think Kate is sick. Wouldn't that be something?
They always want to give people cancer. No, more cancer.
Nah, Kate staying. Her character is strong. Tommy needs that balance. This man just real son has changed. Well, yeah, duh. Real son. Yeah, I love that one. Damn, that gave me like 4 or 5 comments on a real son. Where's that comment you just talk about? I hope she doesn't die. Tommy loses all of his women.
That's another issue too.
Right there. Yeah, coming down here I know hear the comments. So Tommy only knows her being on drugs. If she folds, it's back to normal, keeping Kate in arm's reach. JP was taking care of her, as we're on the same page, but JP had a tattoo. So, and then this one too, because y'all raising black sons of the Chicago, that in Black Panther with all types of lines across. Yeah, this is true. Which is true.
Maybe they did have a relationship before she went to hospice, where she was able to tell him about their past, because how would he get the same tattoo as Tommy?
Yeah, there you go. And that's why I said the grandmother may have given him information. Maybe he was able to grow up and get a relationship with her, because JP is living an alternative lifestyle. Maybe that's the bonding point that they had, of her talking to him and fully accepting him and everything that comes along with that, and him being able to talk to her.
True.
Like, we never know. I just don't want to go down a route that the grandmother's racist because she told Kate you can't raise a black baby. Well, you know how many black grandmothers telling their daughters right now? How many grandmothers out this joint is raising their daughter's child because they told them, you can't, I'm taking this baby because you can't raise this baby.
Yeah.
Hey,
And I don't think that Kate will necessarily die this season, maybe, but I do see her dying eventually. But what I've said on my channel that I would love to see if there's any connection between her and Walter. I would love that.
Yes.
If they know each other, know of each other, if they used to date each other back in the day, what if they get together and then Tommy is stepbrothers with Claude and Vic?
listen,
Yo,
let me tell you why that's by no means far-fetched, because Tommy's bloodlines is white and
Italian.
Italian, yeah.
Yeah, and Walter's Irish, and it seems to me that Kate loves anything but a white man across the board. You got a little anything in here. She's like, you got a little any exotic in you, I'll take some of it. Wouldn't that be something? I think the age, but I mean, and that's probably why they're building up Kate as strong as they are right now for the first time in all these seasons. Could it be
if Kate gets clean, can Kate become a force to deal with her knowledge of the way the streets operate? Because she has the knowledge on how everything operates now, but she just never been clean. If she gets clean,
she could literally be like Walter's like long lost love from like high school or something. Because what if she got pregnant by JP's dad, like on some, some sneaky link, you know what I'm saying, type time. But that would be crazy. That would be crazy because Claude will have a fit with somebody else coming in and being mama, because you know how her mother, that's all I got to say.
Oh, man.
We don't know from Kate dying.
Yeah, the meter just went all the way back to Hope now.
Now Kate about to take over the organization. She about to run Dublin. Like
facts.
Jeez. Speaking of Claude,
don't tell me Kate about to turn into Ghost. Wait a minute.
Hey, go ahead. I just said Kate like spicy white. Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say that when you said anything but regular white. Like Kate love her spicy white, Jim.
Like her chicken seasoned.
Let's get to our bonus question for the night. Speaking of Claudia, how long before Tommy takes Claudia out?
It's gonna be a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
No time soon. Something's gonna end up happening to prevent him from doing it right now.
Yeah. Am I tripping, or did like him and Claudia have like a little bit of a thing pretty early last season? Nothing, nothing of the likes of, I don't know. It's kind of confusing with Tommy because the way he out here going for Liliana makes me just, I'm confused who was his number one. I don't know. He didn't go like this for Keisha. I mean, yeah, for Keisha. So I don't know.
He did.
If he's the whole thing with Tasha because of Keisha.
I get that though, but I feel like that's more regular Tommy in terms of like, I'm going to kill you. He's very emotionally driven right now to find out who killed Liliana. Like in a way of like, forget the drugs, forget the business. I need to figure out who killed Liliana. I don't know. It's something about this whole.
I think he doesn't know who killed Liliana. He's trying to confirm it. He knows who killed Keisha, and Keisha died years ago, and yet he's still driving into New York to kill Tasha years later for this. Come on.
True.
That's where the timeline stuff gets real crazy to me, because at what point, if what's happening right now in this season, does he decide time to go back to New York to kill Tasha?
Yeah.
So true.
So to come back to this question, how long before Tommy takes out Claudia? Oh, Keisha, I agree with you. I thought a long time too until I started thinking about this. Or does he just become the old school Tommy of just straight revenge? He kills Claudia in revenge for Liliana, and he says, well, time to finish cleaning up my other work, and goes after Tasha because of the Keisha.
Him and Tasha cool. Him and Tasha cool now.
No, but that happens afterwards.
Yeah, it's the timeline thing.
Keisha, trust me, this was me all last week. Yeah. All last week, and everybody was just like, no.
What happens at the end of Power Book Ghost, when he goes after Tasha, all of that is after what happens this season. So that means he has to find out whatever information that he finds out where Tasha is located. He finds out by the end of this season that, and he goes after Tasha, which means Claudia is probably the end of the season where he says, I'm going to take you out, and then turns around and says, you know what? Now I know where Tasha's at too. Two birds, one stone.
Yeah.
Well, it does make sense because if you've noticed, this is the first Power show that we've ever gotten in the summertime.
Yep.
Oh.
First one out of every last universe where it's finally summer. Finally. It's been 11 years of winter. Winter and nothing else. And that always blew me that Power, the original Power, literally took place, the whole storyline, and this came out of Courtney Kemp's mouth, took place like over the span of like some months. And it's like, how, lady? How? How? Yeah. Tariq was literally like 11 and then graduated from high school. So how? It never
like
made sense.
He's like a glitch in the system. The way how he moves around, him just aging all willy-nilly. Yeah, I don't know. That's
some months to happen for the whole year. That would make absolutely no sense. Yeah. None at all.
Yasmin
they celebrated a birthday.
Now
Raina died. Yaz started as a baby.
Literally.
And then all of a sudden, Yaz like 12 now. It couldn't happen over spectrum.
No.
That would make sense.
I miss Courtney Kemp being a part of these, man. She's a fun talk. And I would have some questions now more so than ever because like that just blew me. I had no clue that it was over in Panama. And like this time, like Keisha, the real talk. Your same reaction is exactly how I felt last week when everybody was like, no, this is at the end of the season. I'm like, why would they do that? Like,
yeah, because now y'all got me tripping. I'm like, huh? But it makes sense because that took place in the wintertime and it's spring, summer. So yeah.
It could be because this could be them setting up a bigger form of a crossover. Hopefully. Because when you're blending things into this way, you got to blend it into a bigger form of a crossover.
Yeah.
Where maybe instead of the next season of Ghost's Power Book incorporates a lot more force in it and a lot more of Tommy and these characters in it. So they got to blend the worlds together a little bit more because technically throughout the seasons, besides Tommy just randomly showing up to kill people, they've always been separate. Yeah. So they're like, well, it's like an Avengers movie. What happens when you put all the Avengers in one movie instead? What happened if you get all of these characters back into one show?
Now that'd be dope if they did some Avengers type shit. Yeah. Like, but I don't think the writers be on that type of time. Like, that'll be nasty, yo. Like, oh my God. But at the end of Ghost, when Tariq and Brayden are now on the run, I'm guessing they're going to Chicago. So I think maybe in the beginning of their season, we'll see the first couple of episodes in Chicago, and then they'll come back to New York at some point.
Because who's Tariq going to go to for help? Of course he's going to Uncle Tommy. Who else is he going to go into for help but Uncle Tommy?
Yeah, because he ain't got nobody.
And then if Tommy gets CBI in them, along with getting Tasha, and they say, you know what, we need to take out this threat.
One thing we have to remember that's going to pop up at some point, if the writers themselves don't forget, is old girl, the little girl from Power, when Proctor's daughter,
Lisa Marie. Yeah. Lisa Marie.
Because remember, he told her, I'll be waiting on you to come back. That little girl gonna make an appearance at some point for her get back.
Like Pink Shoes homegirl from the first episode of Power. She just all of a sudden came back in the last season. It's the writing's on the wall for that one. And that's gonna be that's definitely gonna be interesting.
Be so sad if that's how Tommy died.
Oh, with Lisa Marie doing it.
He won in the end, and then Lisa Marie pop his ass in the last 5 seconds of the episode.
Killed her father. Like a Sopranos thing where you just fade to black.
Yep.
Man.
Let me go to the chat because we have a super chat coming in from gorgeous Jessica each and every week, showing love. Color me pink and big gold belt. I love y'all and we love you too.
Yes.
Thank you for these live streams. I gotta catch the playback as I'm at work, unfortunately. Much love to y'all, though. My favorite reviewers ever. Well, you
Girl,
are
quit
obviously
that
our
job.
favorites. Yeah, fuck that job.
Wow,
Get a CBI.
You do not have people up here joining treason with Shanti and Jenard. Because treason clearly got openings and left and right. They about to put
Yes,
up
every position, left and right, up and
point.
down. You can run. Listen, never mind. I'm gonna keep my comments. I was about to say something really wild, but yeah, treason has openings at any position. Go ahead and go for that management position. It is definitely open.
And they looking for project managers, contract managers. They looking for everything at treason.
They definitely don't drug test. You don't have to worry about that. You're good there. Claudia, man, I'm very pro Claudia, and unfortunately, Claudia's art is, I think, at some point going to run against the wall. I mean, what can she do? She's never going to run the Flynn organization. She's in bed with somebody from Dublin, which I can't see that going good. And I think as she continues to come from underneath Walter's thumb, she's just going to get herself in more trouble. And I think her being confronted by Tommy was the fear in her heart to letting us know she can't run out here on her own. It's just not possible. So I think at some point, Christmas will be canceled for Claudia, unfortunately. But I think the character is really good in terms of like keeping interest and obviously her benefit to the Flynn family with, you know, having Dahlia, that she come out with a new drug this season. The one that's obviously should be the chosen one, but she's not a male, so it's not going to work because Vic doesn't have it together, even though he pulled some shit this episode. But whatever. But yeah, Claudia, man, I think her death just has to be relevant, and I'm curious to see how that's going to happen. Tommy killing her just doesn't suffice enough for terms of relevancy for the story. So I don't know.
Not right now, because remember he said that you'll never see it coming. So I think it's going to be at the most inopportune time. But I disagree. I think that at some point she is going to become head of their family because remember the daddy's sick. And I think at some point either he going to die of whatever illness that he had or one of them going to pop his ass. But I do think at some point she is going to take over that family's business. She's going to like form a coup on their asses and she going to take over. Yeah.
She also has another trump card with this situation, sleeping with this guy who's associated with Dublin. Claudia can always just get married to someone in Dublin. That's all she has to do. It takes nothing for her to say, I want to be with you, and her get married to somebody. Because we understand those connections mean nothing to Claudia in the first place. It will all be a power move for her. So if she marries into the organization that runs her family's organization, that could be the gift of saying, well, we'll let you do that. That's no big deal to us. Your husband's really running it, but if you want to, baby, do whatever you want to do.
Or she marries him and then gets rid of him.
There you go. And that how Griselda did it? Hey.
Thought you didn't feel well, man. You out here putting out all the analogies, man.
Hey,
you on fire tonight.
El Chapo wife out and partying in New York right now. You ain't no telling what happens when you get married into a certain family.
Yep.
Yeah,
there's a certain respect that comes along with that.
That is very, I have not even thought. So beyond the possibilities of what y'all both are naming, will Claudia ever have the wherewithal to know this though?
Yeah, she's smart enough to. I think she already knows that's an option. Yeah. It's just not an option she wants to do. She wants to get by on her own merit first.
Yeah.
If they keep on playing with her and not allowing that, she's going to come conniving. And part of that connivingness is marrying into another family. And while at the same time, we got to remember, Vic is attempting to destroy Walter's business.
Yeah.
And unlike Vic, I feel like Vic has more of a moral compass, obviously, than she does. And she seems like the type that will be like a Tyreek, where if I got to get rid of my daddy or my brother, I got to do what I got to do.
Yep.
She don't give a damn.
Yep.
She's strictly out here for herself and for power.
Yeah. For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think Vic also didn't like that monkey comment earlier by Michael. So, you know, Vic racial
Vic
antennas
definitely
go
got a
off.
Black Lives Matter t-shirt in his closet.
1,000%.
It's cool.
1,000%.
I don't know. His daddy, the most racist person in the world, and that monkey comment bothered you. Your daddy been calling black people monkeys since you was like 2.
Yeah.
Like that could not have bothered you that much.
Oh, it hit
But
different
again,
now with
his black
Gloria,
queen,
man.
hey, his black queen, he will. Ain't nothing more dangerous than a white man that loses a black woman. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, they are psychopaths. They are psychopaths.
But look, that goes back into my theory about Kate and Walter. Because if Kate and Walter have some type of connection, and then you got JP, I'm not going to accept your nigger son. You know,
Exactly. Hey, and Kate
so
ain't giving
much
up her
to play
black
with
children for
there.
nobody.
Yeah.
Kate just ain't giving her the black kids. You could tell her you ain't fucking with Tommy. She be like, all right. But JP, D-Mac, nah, especially D-Mac.
Mm-hmm.
He a knucklehead, but there's some innocence around him.
Yeah, I love his character.
Man, it is. He's irritating, but he's a teenager, so he's supposed to be irritating.
Yeah.
And it works wonders, his innocence, when he has those conversations with JP or Tommy or Kate.
That
but
goes
something
into,
bad is gonna happen with that gun.
Thank you for reading my notes. That goes into the final question of the night here. D-Mac having that gun. What's going to be the result of this here? This is the final question of the night. So kids are throwing it right at you.
I think he might accidentally shoot Kate.
Oh my God. Oh man, the internet is going to be in shambles if that happens.
He's gonna accidentally shoot somebody.
Okay,
we
on the
can't
same
leave the house
page
right now.
there.
Well, I know on next week's episode he's gonna get back out in the field, and that's when Tommy gonna cuss him out. But he's gonna end up popping somebody, and it's gonna be all bad.
And I think it's JP.
Could be.
I think he's gonna accidentally shoot his father.
Yeah, not next episode though. We need a little bit more bonding with the two of them.
No. I think it's gonna happen by the end of the season. We're gonna see some ramifications. They're gonna play this gun thing out for a while. I think this is not gonna be a one-off week thing where next week then the gun goes away again. No, I think him getting into this lifestyle, it's gonna be him attempting to defend his family, but him just not being part of that life and putting JP in a horrible situation. And him being either accidentally shooting JP or leading to something happening to him that it ends up getting JP hurt or killed. Which
is really, and MovieBot said this on his channel. What is JP's point? Like, what does he do? I mean, like,
which could lead to the spiral of Kate again, and why she took the drugs from Tariq at the end of the next pilot when she asked Tariq for drugs. And why she's back in New York all of a sudden and not in Chicago anymore.
Remember, she was she had boxes in the house. So I thought that she was moving to Chicago at that point.
Yeah, so if something happened to JP, it could drive her right back to New York and back to her spiral.
I don't know. JP. D-Mac is immature, and I think at some point, I mean, obviously he's just itching to be relevant and be involved. And the gun thing, I'm really kind of blown away by your answers. So I'm just gonna leave that alone. But I do think, for real, I do think he's going to somehow, some way, try to get back on the streets. And I keep forgetting the other dude name that he used to hang with last season. The dude that
play on the shot too. The little boy.
Play on the shot. I was just about to say that. Yep. I can see that becoming the thing again. And if that's the case, does he try to link back up? Does he try to go to treason? Does he try to make it a thing by getting out there? Does he?
No one's going to
try to go with? I mean, because CBI is like aligning with Uncle Tommy. So does he try to defy him by saying like, I'll mess around and go to treason or something of that sort? Like, I don't know.
Remember on the clip for
Marshall,
we see him on a street corner doing something. We see him bending down or whatever, and then we see Tommy getting up in his face saying, "You don't want to go up against me. You don't want to disobey me." So I'm thinking he's going to try to get back out in the field, trying to help move product or something like that. And Tommy's going to get wind of it, and it's going to be a problem.
And Tommy ain't the person to cross, because the last person to cross Uncle Tommy, the last nephew that did that, it did not go well for him.
Over the side of the building, right?
Yeah, you do not want to cross Uncle Tommy there. Not at all. But again, it is going to be interesting to see what happens with D-Mac, because that's an interesting character. JP, I agree with Movie Bot. It's really no point of him right now. Really? So you gotta eventually we're gonna have to get this character more interesting.
Yeah.
JP ain't even like exercised his Stars contract yet. He ain't had a sex scene yet. He ain't got nothing yet. Like you got to do so. If you don't get a sex scene in Power, you have to die. Like it's mandatory at that point. That's how you know for sure you're gonna die, because you ain't getting no sex scene. Like sex scene equals years on the show. If you go too many years without a sex scene,
they might keep him around because we still got the bar. So that bar is going to be a pivotal part for Tommy, for them to like move product and stuff like that. So maybe they'll have him link up with somebody.
They gotta give him a boyfriend or something, though.
Yeah, he gotta
give him a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Jenard when he gets hooked on drugs. You never know. Like, you never know what can happen there. People have done worse for drugs. So we never know. You never know what can happen.
JP look like he'll be Jenard type.
Right. He may lick the cauliflower ear. You've been asking who's gonna lick the cauliflower ear. Maybe JP.
Just not go. I got these cheeseburgers, man.
Maybe that's part of Jenard being on drugs. He's not living his truth. You never know.
Shut up, because I was just thinking that. Shut up.
That's crazy.
Shut up. I was literally just thinking, like, well, what if he was really gay, and that's part of the reason why he act the way he do?
Yep. Because he got to be tough. You got to be the man. You got to be tough. You got to portray that image, and that stress of portraying that image is what's leading him down the road that he's going down. And JP could be the out that he doesn't need to portray that image anymore.
That'll be crazy.
But then that's gonna hurt Shanti, because then she gonna feel used, and then that could lead her taking over treason from Jenard because of Jenard's lifestyle. Oh, look. Damn it! If they don't hire us as Power Rangers,
I mean,
yeah, y'all are something else. Listen, rare am I very short of words here, but this one y'all got me. Y'all got me for sure. Oh, Keisha. Listen, before we roll out here again, for everybody that came through, thank y'all so much. Make sure you follow Keisha at Color Me Pink in the description below. And Keisha, please let the fans know what you got what you're working on this week, and what you got dropping coming soon.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you guys so much for having me. This was such a pleasure. I truly enjoyed it. I'm a huge fan of your channel now that I know of you guys, because I didn't even know of you guys until you reached out. But I'm super excited, and I will be tuning in to your podcast because I'm a huge wrestling fan. So I'm excited to hear you guys' thoughts on what's going on in the WWE right now. But just churning out more and more review videos this week, some fashion killer videos, as well as a new makeup tutorial for my subscribers and everything. And you all can check out my film Paper Heart. It is streaming right now on Tubi and Peacock, so you can check that out right now.
Love it. I can speak for us here. Listen, you're always going to have a seat here any and every time.
You.
So whenever you want to come through, we obviously got the finale loading up at the end of the season. So we'll be in touch, making sure we can get something on your calendar so that we can do this again.
I want to talk that wrestle talk, though. I mean, this is fine, but
listen. The name itself should let you know. But no doubt, we definitely gonna do some things. Universal Goddess with the quick question: do you watch Heels? Of course I watch Heels.
I have not. Is it good?
It is good. It is good. Yep.
Okay.
Got a review, got some interviews on the channel, so definitely go check that out. And it's a good show. It just finished up this season. Definitely one of the better wrestling related shows out there. But for power, y'all, listen, hopefully you all enjoyed tonight's episode as we covered episode 3, War and Ice Cream. We're back next week for episode 4, The Devil's in the Details, which that recap review will be dropping once the episode release an hour afterwards, Friday night, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then we back next week again, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, as we are back with another live show and another live guest. No predictions. Y'all just have to stick around and see who it is. But we'll have more and more folks. And then we got the finale where we're just going to make that shit a barn burner. Everybody fucking pulling up. It's going to be a cookout. I don't know if we even going to even be able to cover anything. We might just be bullshitting. We're going to have a 10-window show there that night. It's going to be fun for sure.
Just everybody talking every random thought about what's happening in the next season, how it's going to lead to it. Like, man, that's going to be the fun part. I'm going to be drinking the whole night. It's going to be so much fun.
That's going to be a 2-hour show.
Not the water
for
that
sure.
I got to drink tonight, but trust me, that night ain't going to be.
Hey, one more for you, Lucas. Lucas, I look forward to your t-shirts. You need to be selling something there, sir. Listen, they love it.
Man, look, I'm gonna have to start a t-shirt brand or something at this point.
Good
God almighty.
There you go. Anyway, folks, we appreciate you all coming through tonight. It has been another fun one. We're back again, as I mentioned, next week for 2 shows. But until then, y'all be safe. Y'all get in the comments, let any other questions or any other speculations that y'all may have. We'll look at it. We'll check it out. And we'll be back next week with our top 3 most talked about comments of episode 4. Peace out, y'all. Y'all be safe.